Pakistan has an area of 340,000 square miles, or about 882,000 square kilometers, making it the world's 33rd largest country ahead of Namibia but behind Venezuela. For a quick size comparison, here is India placed over Africa, and here is Pakistan placed over Africa. This is India placed over Europe, and this is Pakistan placed over Europe. Here is India over the United States, and here is Pakistan over the United States.
अस्सलाम-ओ-अलैकुम दोस्तों, मैं हूं इब्राहिम और आप देख रहे हैं पाक रिएक्शन चैनल। तो दोस्तों, आज मैं आपके लिए एक बहुत ही अच्छी वीडियो लेकर आया हूं, जो कि आज इंडिया और पाकिस्तान का हम कंपेयर करेंगे। तो वीडियो काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग, बड़ी मुश्किल से मिली है, तो आप जुड़े रहें और वीडियो देखते हैं। और इसके बाद जब वीडियो देखेंगे और लास्ट में ना, उसके बाद कुछ बताएंगे, तो आप भी कमेंट में कुछ बताएं लाजमी। तो पहले हम वीडियो देखते हैं, उसके बाद हम बात करेंगे लास्ट में।
So let's compare India to Pakistan. Today we'll break our comparison down into 6 categories: basic information, geography, people, economies, militaries, and of course any other random crap I could think of. India and Pakistan are both former British colonies and were once a part of the British Raj, with both gaining independence in the year 1947. Pakistan was founded on August 14th, 1947, while India was founded on August 15th, 1947. India's head of state is President Draupadi Murmu, who is a member of the BJP. Its head of government is Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who is also a member of the BJP. Pakistan's head of state is President Arif Alvi, who is a member of the PTI. Its head of government is Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, who is a member of the PML. The Bengal tiger is India's national animal, while the markhor, a type of goat, is Pakistan's national animal. Both India and Pakistan are federal republics, and much like the United States, are broken down into subdivisions. India has an area of over 1.2 million square miles, or almost 3.3 million square kilometers, and is the world's 7th largest country ahead of Argentina but behind Kangaroo Land. Pakistan has an area of 340,000 square miles, or about 882,000 square kilometers, making it the world's 33rd largest country ahead of Namibia but behind Venezuela. For a quick size comparison, here is India placed over Africa, and here is Pakistan placed over Africa. This is India placed over Europe, and this is Pakistan placed over Europe. Here is India over the United States, and here is Pakistan over the United States. This is India over South America, and this is Pakistan over South America. And this is India placed over Australia, while this is Pakistan placed over Australia. About 91% of India's territory is land, and about 9% is water, while about 97% of Pakistan's territory is land, and only about 3% is water. India has a much longer coastline than Pakistan, adding up to over 7,500 kilometers, or nearly 4,700 miles in length. Pakistan's coastline is only a little over 1,000 kilometers, or 650 miles in length. India is divided up into 28 states and 8 union territories, with Rajasthan being its largest state and Goa being its smallest. Similarly, Pakistan is divided up into 4 provinces, 2 administrative territories, and 1 federal territory, with Balochistan being its largest province and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa being its smallest. Both India and Pakistan have their capital cities, New Delhi and Islamabad, located in distinct territories. Much like how Washington, D.C., the capital of the United States, is not located in a particular state. Perhaps the biggest point of tension between India and Pakistan is the Kashmir region in the north, which is claimed by both nations. Though it is a relatively sparsely populated region, it holds significant geopolitical value for both countries. India borders Pakistan, and depending on who you ask, Afghanistan to the west, China, Nepal, and Bhutan to the north, and Bangladesh and Myanmar to the east, a total of 6 or 7 countries, again depending on who you ask. Pakistan borders Iran and Afghanistan to the west, and India, and yet again depending on who you ask, China to the east, a total of 3 or 4 countries depending on, you know what, I'm not even gonna say it. India's geography is incredibly diverse. The towering snow-capped Himalayas define its borders with China, Nepal, and Bhutan. India's many rivers, fertile soil, and hot tropical climate foster agriculture in the country, allowing for production of rice, wheat, sugarcane, vegetables, fruit, and cotton. India is also home to dry, barren deserts like the Thar Desert and many dense tropical forests that harbor all kinds of wildlife. The Indian subcontinent, including both India and Pakistan, juts out into the Indian Ocean, with the Arabian Sea sitting to the west of India and the Bay of Bengal sitting to the east of India. Pakistan's geography similarly is defined by the Himalayas in the north and distinct fertile plains that help sustain human settlements. Pakistan sits north of the Arabian Sea and is generally more dry than India overall. It is home to the famous Swat Valley, a gorgeous region defined by its rolling hills and soaring mountains. India is home to a little over 1.4 billion people, meaning that roughly 1 in every 6 people on Earth live in India. Overall, this makes India the new most populous country in the world, having recently just surpassed China. Pakistan is home to a lot fewer people, being home to over 240 million people, making it the 5th most populous country ahead of Nigeria but behind Indonesia. Pakistan does have fewer people than India, but its 1.8% population growth rate is more than double India's growth rate of 0.8%. Nonetheless, India still has around 6 people for every 1 Pakistani. India is home to about 430 people per square mile, or roughly 1,100 people per square mile. Comparatively, Pakistan is home to roughly 270 people per square kilometer, or about 700 people per square mile. Both India and Pakistan are two major developing nations with some major cities to boast. The 10 largest metro areas in India are Jaipur, Pune, Surat, Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore, Kolkata, Mumbai, and Delhi. Pakistan's 10 largest metro areas are Quetta, Islamabad, Hyderabad, and yes, there are...
तो जी दोस्तों, यहाँ तक आपने वीडियो देख ली, तो वाकई वीडियो काफ़ी इंफॉर्मेटिव है, तो साथ जुड़े रहें। तो अगर आपने मतलब चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया तो लाजमी चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें ताकि मेरी हर वीडियो आप तक पहुँच सके। तो लाजमी चैनल को लाइक भी करें। चलो आगे देखते हैं उसके बाद।
are 2, Multan, Peshawar, Gujranwala, Rawalpindi, Faisalabad, Lahore, and Karachi. In India, 43.6% of the population speak Hindi as their first language, 8% speak Bengali, 6.9% speak Marathi, 6.7% speak Telugu, 5.7% speak Tamil, and 29.1% speak something else. As you can probably tell, India is one of the most linguistically diverse countries in the world. Additionally, 200 million plus Indians, or over 14% of India's population, are able to speak English. In Pakistan, 38.8% of the population speak Punjabi as their first language, 18.2% speak Pashto, 14.6% speak Sindhi, 12.2% speak Saraiki, and 16.2% speak something else. Pakistan is also incredibly linguistically diverse, with over 70 languages being spoken there, and it also has a significant English-speaking population with roughly 108 million speakers. Interestingly, Urdu, one of Pakistan's national languages, is the first language of only around 7% of its people. One of the greatest cultural...
हालांकि पाकिस्तान की नेशनल जो लैंग्वेज है वो तो उर्दू है, लेकिन उर्दू सिर्फ 7% बोली जाती है, बाकी 38% पंजाबी, बाकी 18% पश्तो, बाकी 12% उसके बाद सराइकी बोली जाती है। क्या बात है यार।
Divides between the people of India and Pakistan is that of religion. 79.8% of Indians are Hindu, 14.2% are Muslim, and 6% are something else, primarily Christian, Sikh, Buddhist, or Jain. In Pakistan, an astounding 96.5% of the population are Muslim, and just 3.5% are something else. India has a literacy rate of 77.7%, while Pakistan unfortunately has a much lower literacy rate of just 62.3%. Being that India is the most populous country on the planet, it's really no surprise that its economy is absolutely humongous. India's incredible $3.7 trillion GDP gives it the 5th largest economy in the world, ahead of major countries like the United Kingdom, France, Italy, and Canada, and behind only Germany, Japan, China, and the United States. Pakistan has a GDP of over $376 billion, which gives it the world's 42nd largest economy, ahead of Iran, Chile, Romania, and Colombia, but behind Egypt, Hong Kong, South Africa, and Denmark. In 2021, India's economy grew at a staggering rate of 8.7%, while Pakistan's economy grew by 6.5%. Because of this major growth, in 2075, India is expected to have the world's 2nd largest economy, while Pakistan is projected to have the 6th, with both nations having GDPs well into the trillions. Though India's massive population accounts for 17.3% of the entire global population, its economy only accounts for 3.5% of the global economy. Pakistan's population accounts for 2.7% of the global population, but its economy accounts for less than 0.5% of the global economy. India's $2,600 GDP per capita is comparable to the Republic of the Congo, Nicaragua, the Ivory Coast, and Sao Tome and Principe. Meanwhile, Pakistan's nearly $1,700 GDP per capita is comparable to Ethiopia, Guinea, Cameroon, and Senegal. This makes India's GDP per capita roughly 60% higher than Pakistan's. India's official currency, the Indian rupee, is valued at 1.2 US cents. Pakistan's official currency, the Pakistani rupee, is currently valued at less than half of a US cent. For comparison, 1 Indian rupee equals 3.64 Pakistani rupees, and 1 Pakistani rupee equals 0.28 Indian rupees. Overall, the Indian rupee is 3 times more valuable than the Pakistani rupee. India is a major importer and exporter of goods worldwide, whereas Pakistan isn't quite as much. In 2021, India imported over $717 billion worth of goods and exported $640 billion worth of goods. Meanwhile, Pakistan imported just over $76 billion worth of goods and exported around $35 billion worth of goods. In 2021, this made India the 8th largest importer behind the Netherlands and ahead of South Korea, and the 12th largest exporter ahead of Canada but behind Ireland. Meanwhile, Pakistan was the 51st largest importer ahead of Iran but behind Ukraine, and the 69th largest exporter ahead of Croatia but behind Algeria. India produces around 607,000 barrels of oil every single day, making it the world's 25th largest producer ahead of Argentina and behind Indonesia. Pakistan produces 83,000 barrels of oil every day, making it the world's 45th largest producer ahead of Turkey and behind Chad. India's richest man, Mukesh Ambani, chairman of Reliance Industries, has a net worth of $98.5 billion at the time of recording. Pakistan's richest man, Shahid Khan, founder of Flexingate, who has moved to the United States, has a net worth of $11.7 billion. Khan owns both the Jacksonville Jaguars, an American football team, and Fulham FC, an English soccer team. The average Indian brings home roughly $4,500 per year compared to the average Pakistani making about $3,400 per year. Both India and Pakistan are nuclear powers with land, air, and sea capabilities. India possesses an estimated 164 nuclear weapons, while Pakistan is estimated to have around 170. Both India and Pakistan possess formidable militaries with personnel counts into the millions. India has over 1.4 million active duty personnel and over 1.1 million reserve personnel. Pakistan has over 650,000 active duty personnel and 555,000 reserve personnel. This means India has roughly 2.6 million total military personnel and Pakistan has about 1.2 million. Both countries also drop tens of billions of dollars on their militaries every single year. India spends a whopping $81.4 billion on its military each year, ranking 4th overall for its expenditures. Meanwhile, Pakistan spends $10.3 billion on its military, placing it 24th overall. Some of India's top allies include Russia, the United States, and Japan. Honestly, a relatively strange combination of countries if you ask me. Some of Pakistan's top allies include China, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia. In terms of adversaries, unfortunately, both countries do commonly regard one another as political rivals. India also doesn't have the best of relations with China and even banned TikTok over these geopolitical tensions. Overall, the Indian military is ranked as the 4th strongest in the world, while the Pakistani military is ranked as the 7th. Cricket is the top sport in both India and Pakistan, with India having 2 Cricket World Cup wins, one in 1983 and another in 2011, and Pakistan having 1 Cricket World Cup win in 1992. Indira Gandhi International Airport in Delhi is India's busiest airport, receiving over 65.3 million passengers annually. Jinnah International Airport in Karachi is Pakistan's busiest airport, receiving about 12 million passengers annually. Around 17.9 million tourists visit India each year, compared to about 6.6 million in Pakistan. India's most famous landmark is the Taj Mahal, a mausoleum in the city of Agra. One of Pakistan's most famous landmarks is the Badshahi Mosque in the city of Lahore. India's most followed Instagram account is that of Virat Kohli, a cricket player with over 257 million followers. Pakistan's most followed Instagram account is that of Ayeza Khan, an actress with 13.1 million followers. India's most subscribed to YouTube channel is of course T-Series with 248 million subscribers. Pakistan's most subscribed to YouTube channel is Harpal Jio with 45.9 million subscribers. India's movie industry is growing particularly fast, so it's no surprise that it's had some pretty successful films recently. India's highest grossing movie is Dangal, released in 2016 with a box office of $311 million. Pakistan's highest grossing movie is The Legend of Mola Jat, released in 2022 with a box office of $13.8 million. And most important of all, 10.9% of my channel views, or 14,751,122 views, have come from India, and 1.5% of my channel views, or 2,009,986 views, have come from Pakistan. Click here to watch 10 solid minutes of useless geographical facts, and be sure to join our first 300,000 legends. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for more.
तो जी दोस्तों, आपने वीडियो देख लिए, तो वीडियो काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग थी। इसमें मुझे सबसे अच्छी बात तो ये लगी कि क्योंकि इंडिया ना हमसे बहुत ज़्यादा है, क्योंकि इंडिया की जीडीपी बहुत हम ज़्यादा ग्रो कर रही है, तो इंडिया की क्योंकि पॉपुलेशन भी हमसे ज़्यादा है, तो बाकी वीडियो भी बहुत काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग थी। तो दोस्तों, आप भी कमेंट में बताएं कि आपको कैसी लगी वीडियो अगर अच्छी लगे तो चैनल को लाजमी सब्सक्राइब करें और लाइक करें, और मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट वीडियो। ओके, अल्लाह हाफ़िज़।